Rihanna stood in front of the wedding hall, dressed dazzlingly. There was only one thought in her mind: revenge. After years of patience, preparation, and planning, the moment had finally come. She was here solely as a result of her dark past, Eleanor's deceit, and the hatred she harbored for her. Eleanor, the wealthy and powerful woman, still held control over everything. But Rihanna was going to put an end to it. This wedding wasn't just a celebration. It was an opportunity for Eleanor to lose everything she had. The relationship between Rihanna and Eleanor dated back years. When they first met, Rihanna was just at the beginning of her career, while Eleanor was already a well-known, influential businesswoman in society. As Rihanna tried to develop herself by focusing on music, Eleanor offered her an opportunity. But this opportunity would turn out to be the biggest mistake of Rihanna's life. Back then, Rihanna was offered a major album deal. Everything seemed perfect, but behind it all was a trap orchestrated by Eleanor. Eleanor had noticed Rihanna's ambition and determination. She planned to use her to increase her own power. The deal she offered wasn't really a chance to advance Rihanna's career. It was a plan to turn her into a pawn. Soon after, Rihanna found herself not promoting her own music, but being forced to serve Eleanor's interests. Over time, Eleanor began controlling every move Rihanna made, reshaping her image and gradually stripping away her freedom. Eleanor's true intention was to exploit Rihanna for her own gain. She molded Rihanna's voice, stage presence, and style to fit her own exploitative agenda. During this period, Rihanna became known not for her music and songs, but for Eleanor's marketing strategies. And eventually, she turned into Eleanor's puppet. Rihanna vanished into Eleanor's shadow. Throughout the entire process, Eleanor ignored Rihanna's emotional and psychological well-being. Rihanna was losing her identity step by step, becoming more and more a product of Eleanor's control with each passing day. Whenever she tried to reshape her career or sought guidance, she encountered Eleanor's ruthless behavior. Many of the disappointments in her career were deepened by Eleanor's pressure. The injustice Eleanor inflicted didn't just affect Rihanna's career, it spread through her entire life. People saw her as a star, but behind the scenes was Eleanor's dark influence. While Rihanna tried to find her true self, she continued to live behind a mask. Her real identity was lost under the rules and demands imposed by Eleanor. And that night, in the wedding hall, Rihanna's patience had run out. She was finally ready to reveal the truth behind everything. Eleanor had recently made a big business deal and was still living in wealth and power. But there was something in Rihanna's eyes. Nothing would be the same again. From that day forward, Eleanor would have to pay for the injustice she had caused. When Rihanna entered the wedding hall for a moment, the crowd's attention turned to her. They noticed the determined look in her eyes. As Rihanna walked step by step, her heartbeat began to quicken. Once she spotted Eleanor's position, she could no longer suppress her emotions. At that moment, she began walking toward her. Eleanor, while mingling with the guests, suddenly noticed Rihanna. She turned her gaze to her with a moment of shock, but when she saw Rihanna walking toward her, a deep fear filled her. In that moment, Rihanna stood before her, a dark reminder of the past. "You," Eleanor murmured, but Rihanna replied coldly, "Yes, me, and tonight it's your end," she said. Eleanor, in shock, didn't know what to do. She quickly tried to collect herself. "You don't have to do this," she said, but the anger in Rihanna's eyes was too strong to stop the truth from coming out. "You stole my life, took my identity. Today, I'm here to make you pay," Rihanna added. At that moment, a deep silence took over the wedding hall. The guests began to sense the tension between them, but no one immediately understood what Rihanna meant. She pulled out her phone and tapped a few buttons. Suddenly, members of the press started entering through the door. Eleanor's face turned pale. In the past, She had managed to hide all her dirty secrets. But tonight, everything would change. Rihanna began making statements to the press, revealing how corrupt Eleanor had been throughout her career, and how she had tried to control and manipulate Rihanna with injustice. As the press quickly spread the news, the people inside the hall looked at each other in shock. Eleanor, who was once on the same level of power as Rihanna, was now utterly alone. Her wealth and influence were no longer enough to cover the truth Rihanna had revealed. Rihanna had finally taken her revenge and had begun to feel free again. Eleanor's mask had fallen. From that day on, she lost her former power and reputation. The crowd, hearing what was said,